From the mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov.
So I've been vibing all week with the TLM-67 over here. So yeah, I've been, it's one of those things where the way I buy microphones is I buy them and I consume them, and then I put them aside, and then I think about them, and then they make their way back into the booth, and then I figure out whether or not I really like them. So on its return trip into the booth, I am really falling for the TLM-67. So I've been using it all week to great success, and then I was just messing around with the Townsend Sphere, and I got onto the 67 model, the 67 NOS model. And I thought, wow, you know what? That actually sounds kind of familiar. So here's the Sphere. Here's the TLM-67, and there's a little bit more smush in the TLM-67. It's not as it's a little bit cleaner here, but you know what? It's pretty close. It's actually, I never liked the Sphere LD67 model until just now. And it's kind of more like if I back off the TLM-67 right here, if I get kind of like a little bit out of the proximity effect where it's not as big there, right? So if I want to get a little bit smaller here, and then I go over here, it's closer. It's definitely closer. So that really kind of surprised me. So again, let's do our thing. Let's run some copy through this. All right. So TLM-67, Sphere LD87 is a little bit brighter, maybe a little bit more crispy. And this is a little, yeah, you know what? This feels a little bit thicker, but still, I mean, it's close. I like that. I'm actually liking the LD67 a lot more now. So here we go. Here's a ridiculous commercial. Do you like feet? Are you weird? Come on down to Jim's Lost Shoe Paradise. For $5, you can come in and sniff as many shoes as you want for 1 hour. Buy 2 hours and get the 3rd hour free. We scour local dumpsters and telephone lines, so there's new shoes every week. At Big Jim's, we don't call it a fetish. We call it money. All right. Do you like feet? Are you weird? Come on down to Jim's Lost Shoe Paradise. For $5, you can come in and sniff as many shoes as you want for 1 hour. Buy 2 hours and get the 3rd hour free. We scour local dumpsters and telephone lines, so there's new shoes every week. At Big Jim's, we don't call it a fetish. We call it money. All right, so I think I do like this a little bit better. I think there's definitely more saturation going on here. It's a little cleaner. But you know what? This is another example of this tighter sound on the LX, the smaller head basket, tighter sound of the LX. I think I never liked the LD67 on the Sphere, but I never really messed around with it on the LX because I just had a preconceived bias, possibly based upon the fact that it does not sound that it has that larger head basket sound of the DLX with that kind of that notch, that 5 to 8K notch in it. So yeah. So anyway, I just thought we'd play. And do a little 67, a little FET 67, simulated 67. Wait a second. All right, no. So I thought that we would, all right, we do the thing. All right, nation. What do you think? What do you think of the LD67? I have a newfound respect, actually, a like for this one. You know what? Here, I'm just for S's and G's here. Here's the LD67. And this is the 67 NOS, which I think is airier. It's definitely much airier. So the 67 NOS, I think, is supposed to be, yeah, definitely. And then here's this 87 Vintage. And then you're starting to get more of that saturation sound in here that you get here. But this feels a little bit more reedy than the Sphere 87 Vintage. And this doesn't sound bad. But I think it's definitely missing something a little low end. Maybe I'd pull up the proximity a little bit more right there. I don't like that. I don't like that proximity setting too much. And then let's go to 87 Modern. All right, yeah, that is crispy up top. Definitely compared to that, way crispy. So anyway, I'm going to go back to the 67 NOS and then bounce out of here. All right, so my throat just gurgled. Anyway, so all right, nation, what do you think? Leave a comment. We want to talk about this for sure. All right, 67 battle. Right here. All right, until next time. This is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.